back to the channel, and today we have a very special matchup indeed. Imperial Knights versus Imperial Knights. Today's guest is Mr. Steve Down. He's been a long time follower of the channel, and we've both driven 3 and 4 hours respectively to meet up at Warhammer World, and what a match-off this is going to be. There's been accusations of heresy between House Mortan and House Krast, and there is going to be a brutal clash in the centre of the board of this game. We're not expecting it to last long, we're expecting devastation. So as the Knights look out across the battlefield, there is 6 objectives. We're playing Cleanse and Control to keep it nice and simple with Dawn of War deployment. We've got Objective 1 here, number 3 in the centre, and number 2 at this side, number 6 backfield, number 5 under the Imperial statue, and number 6 on this flank. So this ruined Imperial city, I think, is going to be levelled to the ground when we are finished with this matchup. Let's have a quick look through the forces though. Right, so Steve is running 2 baronial courts. The Baron for this one is of course the Lancer, and the rest of the forces, what you see is what you get. So we've got a, I want to say, Warden with a melter gun, and he's got the autocannon, and this guy down here, the Paladin, with the Storm Spear and missile pod on the top. And across this side we've also got this baronial court as well. We've got the Archeon leading it up as the Baron. We've got an Errant here with the missile pod and a melter gun, and we've got the Paladin at that side as well. Meanwhile, I'm running a baronial court and a household. The baronial court is at this side. We've got the Lancer, we've got an Errant there with the auto cannons and a melter gun, and we've got the Archeon at this side as well. For the household, we do have the Castigator, we've got a Crusader there with a missile pod, and we have the Paladin at this side, again with a melter gun and missile pods. Currently, House Krast are going first. Let's see if Steve can seize though. So currently House Krast is going first unless Steve seizes, and Steve has a bit of a reputation. He seized 6 games in a row. Is he going to seize now? He doesn't, so that's House Krast, turn 1. Right, so House Krast turn 1, we've drew secure objective 5, big game hunter, and a grudge to settle. We've done the movement, and Steve has nominated the model for grudge to settle. It's the Paladin right back there. So for movement, we've edged forward all of the models just slightly, about 6 inches pushing forward. The court here sticking together, looking to get a couple of shots in, hopefully do a whole point or 2 damage that way. It's worth noting that this guy is my Warlord, and the Lancer over there is Steve's as well. So very quick movement, let's go straight on to shooting. Right, so as we look across the battlefield, shots have been fired between the 2 households. These guys here, everything from the Castigator, the Crusader and the Paladin, managed to strip 2 hull points from the Paladin at this side, and the battle cannon, one of the shots scattered, doing a single hull point to this Lancer. The 3 up invuln, saving a couple of them, and some of the cover as well. Meanwhile, across this side, the Errant and the Lancer both shot into the Errant at that side, doing no damage at all. So at the end of my turn, I do secure objective 5 for 1 point, and I'm going to keep hold of Big Game Hunter and a grudge to settle, as they're guaranteed points as long as I kill one of them. Right, so House Mortan turn 1, Steve has drew secure objective 2, he's drew no prisoners and secure objective 6. Objective 6 is on my side. Steve's playing it safe, he's not going for objective marker 2, as he knows there's a Lancer right there and an Archeon as well, and he doesn't want House Krast to get the charge in, so he's pushing forward ever so slightly to consolidate his position to get some shots in. And the guys at this side as well, again just looking to start peppering the guys at the front. It's going to be a very tactical game. Everyone's going to be back and forth, dancing around each other until the Knights come crashing together in the centre. So House Mortan have retaliated. All 3 Knights on this side pumped everything they had into the castigator and have done 2 hull points of damage. Even the errant at this side, blasting away through the ruins, failed to do any damage. So the castigator is down to 2 hull points. Meanwhile, over this side, the paladin's battle cannon, he levelled it through the ruins, clipping both the lancer and the errant at this side. Unfortunately, again, doing no damage. So as it stands, nobody has first blood. We're still dancing around each other, waiting to see who dare charge first or get within charge range. So Steve unfortunately doesn't score any points, but he is elected to discard objective 6, which is down here. Krast turn 2, we've drew secure objective 4. We've still got big game hunter and a grudge to settle. So all these guys here at this side have just moved around slightly, still hugging the cover, but we're going to go for the paladin up there. A little bit of a plan. We're going to secure objective 4. The crusader here, unfortunately, I'm going to use him as bait, see if we can lure Steve's lancer in and then counter charge with these 2 guys, but we'll have to see whether or not he takes the bait. But all the firepower on the side is going after that 1 knight there. Meanwhile, across here, these guys are just shuffling forward, being ever so cautious because of the Archeon at this side. And we've got the errant there as well. The Flamestorm Templar is going to be, the Hellstorm is going to be within range, as is the Lancer and everything else. So hopefully we can start to do some damage. But again, Steve, by the time he moves out, might be within charge range of these guys. The errant possibly being used as bait with the Lancer to hopefully counter charge at this side. So it's proven very interesting so far. Let's shoot some shells across this ruined city. So as the knights look across at House Mortan, all 3 of these guys pumped everything they had into this errant here. But the ruins, he's dancing around behind the ruins, and that shield, the 3 up in run, thanks to being within 6 inches of the rest of them, proven vital, and every last thing was saved. But over here, these 2 guys, between them, all the missiles, the thermal cannon, the battle cannon, we managed to strip the last 4 hull points from this one here. Exploded exactly where it was, bringing the ruins to the ground. It was in fact the Gatling cannon. I managed to get 4 rends. Unfortunately, Steve saves not quite lucky enough there. This guy then took a couple of shots in at the Lancer, hoping to do a hull point or 2's damage, but unfortunately nothing was done. So at the end of House Krast turn 2, we do score objective 4, first blood and a grudge to settle, so that puts us at 4 points, plus I get D3 for big game hunter for another 3 points, so that puts me on 7. House Mortan turn 2, Steve has drew ascendancy, and these guys are staying where they are. He knows that if he moves forward he might not make the charge, but House Krast is closing in. They are coming crashing through the ruins. Meanwhile, at this side, Steve seems to have taken the bait, and the Lancer is coming forward to take out the Crusader. And the Warden at this side moving forward ever so slightly just to back him up, potentially start and do a couple of hull points of damage to a few of the knights. Let's move on to shooting and see how House Mortan retaliates. Archeon here took fire from the Warden and took a hull point thanks to that Gatling cannon. The Melter and the Stormspear rocket pod unfortunately doing no damage here, and that massive Hellstorm Templar doing nothing to the errant that is up in those ruins. Meanwhile, down here, the Lancer did a single hull point to the Crusader here, and I think Steve is going to be charging in, but then we're going to retaliate with 2 knights hopefully, if that Crusader survives, which I very much doubt. So let's move on to assaults as these knights hurtle forward, crashing through the ruins of this city. And just like that, House Mortan have retaliated. The Lancer charging in, rolling that all-important 6 on the Crusader and absolutely destroying them. And the explosion scattered backwards, doing 2 hull points. The strength D hitting the Castigator straight in the face. Luckily Steve only rolled a 4 and then 2 hull points, so he is alive on 1 hull point. So Steve does score no prisoners, but he doesn't secure objective 2, and we'll have to have a look at the objective, see if he has ascendancy. Right, so House Krast turn 3, we drew secure objective 3 twice and Titan Killer. So what we've done is these two guys are going to double team up and hopefully take out that Lancer. A single Paladin or a Castigator I don't think would be anywhere near enough to get rid of this guy, especially considering he's got his invuln in combat, but we can hope. Meanwhile across here, the Baronial Court is moving forward to hopefully take out the errant and Paladin bodyguards of the Baron and see if this errant can do some damage to the Archaon that's in cover. I want rid of him, but I don't want to charge him in cover because I'll be swinging last, and when he gets to re-roll that 1 on the D table, I ain't chancing it. So hopefully the other two guys, the Lancer and my Castigator, can take out the errant and the Paladin respectively. We'll have to see what happens though, but as we move on through the middle of the game, things are going to get brutal. Over this side we haven't had a productive round of shooting at all. The Lancer shot at the Paladin, my errant shot into the Archaon and did nothing with the thermal cannon, but the melter gun, the auto cannon, shot into this guy here, passing all of his saves, even the flipped Hellstorm template from the Archaon there doing nothing. But hopefully we can take those two out in combat. Down this side, the Castigator, the melter gun, the Storm Spear managed to strip this guy of 3 hull points altogether. Devastating blow on the Lancer there. I reckon I could take 2 hull points in combat, so the battle cannon shot across at the Warden there and unfortunately did nothing. So House Krast are making an advance, but it seems as though we're dancing around each other still. Steve advancing on this side, me advancing on that side. It's a game of dice and luck, and it's going to be absolutely brutal. I wonder whether or not we can survive this combat against that Lancer. Combat here, the Paladin Baron has charged in at the Lancer and issued a challenge. We've just done my attacks to hit. I only got 1 hit and then I've just rolled that 6 to pen. So either way, Steve's Lancer is gone. It's going to go up in smoke, but he does get to swing back at the same initiative. So you've got 4 attacks, Steve, hitting on 4s, because both weapons killed 5. That's 1 hit. Are you going to get the 6? Oh, nothing. So the Lancer goes up in smoke. What size explosion is it, Steve? The massive one. Do you want to roll to scatter? Where's he going? 7 inches this way, so he's going to unfortunately hit nothing. So devastating blow there indeed. No damage being dealt back by that Lancer Baron. Over this side, the Lancer unfortunately only rolled a 5-inch charge. I need the 7 to make it in, so I think I can say bye-bye to him next turn. However, the Archaon over here did a single pen with Hammer of Wrath, but his toe is clipping the cover, so Steve got to swing first and did 3 hull points of damage. He only got 2 hits and rolled a 1 on the D table. Meanwhile, I had 5 attacks on the charge after I survived, and we managed to roll a 1, 2 4 and 3 4s, sorry, and I re-rolled the 1 to a 6. So this guy has gone up in smoke. We've just rolled this blast size, and it is the massive one. Steve, do you want to scatter him? Direct hit, so we'll work that out and come back shortly. Strength 10, doing a single hull point to the Archaon. So although I may have destroyed 3 of Steve's knights, 2 of mine are on single hull points. I think he's going to retaliate quite strongly, especially over this side. So I do score objective 3 twice, and I score Titan Killer for a further D3 victory points as well for 1 more. Right, so House Mortan turn 3 and Steve has drew secure objective 4. Been very, very unlucky with the cards, so I think he just wants to kill stuff now. These guys here are both going to go in. This one's on 1 hull point, so hopefully if that one can blow up with some firepower, might get lucky, scatter back, do some damage to the errant there. These guys are going in after these 2. Meanwhile over here, again, Steve's going to take a chance See if you can blow that one up with shooting and scatter onto the paladin at that side, and then charge in there. So I think this turn is going to be make or break for both armies. There's going to be a lot of explosions in the city. In a game of night, you never know what's going to happen. The Gatling cannon has just tore through the side armour of the castigator there. We've rolled the massive explosion and it's scattered sideways 6 inches straight onto this guy's head. So he's getting hit with a strength D. Steve, do you want to roll that? He's praying for this 6.
Right here we go.
5 D3 hull points. Do you want to roll that?
Yeah.
For 2 hull points. That's still not bad. He's down to 4 and he's still got the rest of the guns to fire from that. Over this side of the table, the Archaon Warlord has been slain by Steve's Archaon as well. That Hellstorm template, strength 7, getting a glance, unfortunately, on the rear armour as Steve had moved him round just far enough, and his shield was on the side to protect from the Paladin at the background there. The Paladin shot him, but no damage has been done elsewhere. So going in to combat at the end of turn 3, my Paladin at this side is on 4 hull points and 5 remaining knights are on 6 each. So this turn of combat is going to be brutal. Are we going to table each other at the same time? Who knows? Let's charge and find out. All 3 knights have made their charges. Nothing was done to Overwatch. However, we've worked out the Hammer of Wraths. This guy didn't take any, but the Paladin over there, the errant, sorry, did. Now we're gonna roll all these on camera. I don't normally film dice rolls, but I think in such a monumental, destructive game, we are gonna film it. So we're gonna do them one at a time. My guy and Steve's do get the swing at the same time, but my Baron is weapon skill 5, so I hit on 3s. That's 2 hits. Strength D. Oh! Look at him, he's over the moon. So Steve, do you want to swing back with 4 attacks for charging?
So I hit on 4s.
1 hit.
Some people say 1 is all you need.
D3 hull points. So he is going to survive. That's 2 hull points, so my Baron drops down to 2. Right, moving across, we've got the Errant and the Archaon at this side. So the Errant gets 3 attacks and misses. Totally misses. So Steve has 5 attacks for charging for the Cerastus. And he's your Baron, so he hits on 3s, that's 3. Strength D. Boom, double 6. Wow.
Boom, baby.
Wow. So do you want to roll for the size of that explosion, Steve?
Yeah.
Massive. And let's grab a scatter dice. Where does it go? 3 inches back, we'll work that out. Does it hit him? Strength D, yep. Come on, baby. 5 D3 hull points. That's for 2 hull points. Down here, the Errant is gone. The Archaon is down to 4 hull points. Meanwhile, my Lancer is the last one to swing. We are going at the same time here again. So 4 attacks for Cerastus, and that is only 2 hits. 2 D3. So that does 5 hull points, Steve. So he is now down to 1 left. But Steve does get the swing. So you've got 3 attacks for the Paladin.
Weapon skill 5, so
hitting me on 3s. 1 hit. Strength D, but I do have my shield. Don't roll a 6. 2, so D3 hull points, 5 have been run, which I fail. For 3 hull points. Ouch. Devastating stuff. This game has been utterly ridiculous, and me and Steve have agreed that we're not even going to bother with cards now. We're just basically going to move on and see who kills stuff. So we're going straight back into House Krast turn 4, and my Baron gets to swing with 3 attacks. Come on, do something. 2 hits. No double ones, please. It's 2 D3 hull points, Steve. For 5 again. So he's down to 1 hull point, but you get to swing back. and I think I can say bye-bye to mine. One hit. D3, I'm on 2 hull points. I need your 1 or 2. Oh, he's gone. So explosion. That's the tiny one. I don't even think it can do anything. Yeah. Yes, I believe it is. So let's see if it scatters. Direct hit, so that's not going to do anything. So that guy survives on 1 hull point, whilst my Baron is destroyed. Meanwhile, we've got another combat to do over at this side. So we've got the Lancer, 4 attacks. That is 3 hits. That is 2 D3 hull points, and he's on 1, so he's going to go how far? Oh, that's the massive one. Scatter dice. Direct hit.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So, with the strength D going to clip 9?
I don't know. Well, yeah, they would be right touching each other, wouldn't they? They're only 9 inches.
There would be. So, strength D against the Lancer.
Strength D.
D3 hull points, 5 up. Nope. How many hull points do you do, Steve? 3. Bang. So that is that gone, and Steve wins by a tabling. Knights versus Knights, and to be honest, that combat for either of us could have gone absolutely either way. What a absolute brutal of a game that was. Steve getting very lucky taking out those 2 Knights on 1 hull point in the shooting phase of his last turn. But what can I say? It has been an absolute pleasure of a game. And he actually scored 2 points, slay the warlord and no prisoners for killing something. I don't even know where I scored, but wow, what a game. And Steve, like I said, wins by default. This is the first game that we're filming today. Stay tuned for the next battle report coming up straight after we have had some food and probably a pint in Bugman. So thanks very much for watching, folks, and we'll see you in the next battle report.